Um, it's funny because I named this car Bessie before, and that's the name of one of my friend's cars, and that's the name of Howie Newsom's horse in Our Town, which I had to play, so it was fun.
This is my best friend, Michael. He's on his way to his mom's in Florida. We first met when we were 12 years old, doing theater at a fine arts high school in Alabama. I wouldn't find out that he was gay until 6 years later. It'd be 7 years later for his mom. Officially speaking, at least.
I was a little uncomfortable at first, but not surprised. Because I think I've known Michael was gay since he was like 4 or 3. So that was no surprise.
That was before I knew, but okay.
Exactly. You know, mothers know. All you have to do is ask your mother.
Was it ever since I fell in love with Meryl Streep?
I think it was way before then, but you know, I think it was more like when you were in love with Big Bird or something, or maybe Barney. I don't know.
What?
As I was saying, Michael and I have known each other for most of our lives, where we spent our high school days dedicated to doing theater. Why theater? Well, for me it was a way to escape, an excuse to be someone else for a change. But for Michael, I can't say for sure, but it always felt like for him that being on stage was a form of acceptance. The applause translated into something more for him.
Welcome and bienvenue, welcome. Franta étranger, stranger. Glücklich zu sehen, je suis enchanté. Happy to see you, bleibe stay.
Well, I got a little bit of them. Me and Michael weren't really growing up together, I don't think. Not a whole lot. By the time the parents got divorced, I was pretty much out the house, and I was pretty much 16, 17, so he was younger, but even younger, very spontaneous. Loved to be in front of the camera. You know, loved to act, get out, do things. And like I said, he's always been very personable, very loving human being.
And it was graduation from 4-year-old kindergarten. And they were all in the gym, and they had masks, animal masks, and they were circus animals. And they stood up on these little platforms, and all the kids except Michael could not wait to get off those platforms and out of there because, you know, they were petrified. When the parents started applauding, Michael just stood there. And it was like that applause touched something at him, and he was like, okay, I like this. It was feeding his ego from the get-go.
In a good way.
In a very good way. And it was a little uncomfortable, but it was a personal thing. It was more of what, you know, a little worried about what the neighbors and the family will think, which, you know, it wasn't hard to get past.
So at the time, and I'm not like scoffing or boasting or whatever, but at the time, were you more interested in what society was thinking rather than my own self? Freedom of me being myself? That's how I took it.
Yeah.
People saying that I'm the jester, per se, or the fool. I get cast a lot in shows in which I'm the fool or the jester, but yeah, I think I am. I think a jester is someone, you know, who isn't just like walking around being silly, slip on a banana. They're actually very witty individuals. They can play on words. You know, they know how to overview a situation and turn it out into something, you know, easier to deal with. Do I ever feel like I am never taken seriously and everything I say is pretty much a practical joke? Yes, I do, all the time, actually. In day-to-day life, a lot of times, like, I feel like maybe just my aneurysms, because, you know, of my homosexuality or whatever, people don't take me seriously. They kind of put up a front, you know, because they stereotype me. They don't know me for me. I mean, if you sit down and talk with me, I guarantee I'll, you know, have a wonderful conversation with you. I'm an intelligent guy, like a straight person is. There's nothing different.
Everyone is happy following the straight path. And I was not happy following a very straight and narrow path. And that's just something you have to deal with, you know. Have I ever been bigoted against gays? No.
Well,
certainly
honestly,
not.
because that was strange for me, because like you had your good friends that you'd hang out with Jen, and
It
like you're very
was.
accepting and stuff, but when it came, I guess, more close to home.
It was also, it wasn't a bigotry, and it wasn't really what the neighbors were going to think. It was more, I knew what you were going to face. And
I wish you taught me that.
well, we didn't discuss it. You never came out to me. You never said
know.
anything. You know, we fear for your safety and for your unhappiness and how you're going to be treated in society. And if, you know, you're different, will you be treated badly by other people? Will you be hurt? And it's true what people will tell you with your child, you actually hurt worse for your child than you do for yourself. When your child is hurting, you're hurting tenfold. And, you know, it was just my fear of how it would affect your happiness and your well-being more than anything.
Do I know why people became jesters in the first place? I don't have a definite answer, but I mean, I have, my thoughts about it. I think that maybe people needed someone to represent the spirit of joy, the spirit of, not taking things too seriously, the spirit of laughter. And they turned it into this figure, the jester. And then the jester came up with ways of doing that. He could use words, he could use actions, his gestures, per se. Gestures, and he would do different things. And I think the jester is just a being that was made up to represent people's laughter. Like when I came down here last time, I was very comfortable revealing my relationship stuff, and honestly, I think relationships have the same problems, obviously, and it's good, to get that advice from someone who's straight or, someone who's gay could also give you good advice, I'm sure, and
There you go.
and yeah, it's just very interesting.
Love is love. What can you say?
And for the jester's mother, there was no question that she would always love her son, his differences and all.